I'm Ken,
I'm Dede.
and on today's episode of Hurricane Prepare to Survive, we're going to cook some emergency food.
So Ken did a lot of research and has found several companies that provide freeze-dried foods. So we're going to show you several of these. Mountain House, we're going to do scrambled eggs and ham for breakfast.
And from Wise Company, we're going to do noodles with beef and mushroom sauce.
And then Patriot Pantry's got some blue ribbon creamy chicken and rice. That sounds interesting.
And then the bonus is going to be we're doing some a la carte, where these are all meals. We're going to do some individual cooking. This from beprepared.com, which is Emergency Essentials. We're going to do Italian-style meatballs, and then we're going to do broccoli florets.
Oh, we must have our greens.
And most of these meals, as you'll find, don't have greens in them, but you can buy greens a la carte. And then for dessert, because you have to have dessert,
Absolutely.
we're going to do strawberry slices.
Love strawberries.
So you ready to cook?
I am. Let's do it.
So let's start with breakfast. We have the Mountain House scrambled eggs with ham, red and green peppers, and this I think is a single serving.
Okay, well, first and foremost is important that we need protein, and this happens to contain 15 grams of protein. However, one note is that it is high in sodium. So what we're going to do is going to open the pouch, tear this open, like so. Ooh, that's interesting. And then we're going to remove this little packet.
That's the oxygen absorber. And you can see down in here, there's lots of, this is real eggs, by the way. This is not powdered eggs, and there's lots of other things. And you actually cook this in the pouch. So we're going to add 8
Hold her steady.
ounces, which is a cup,
Yep, of water.
boiling water.
Okay.
And then
Then
blend
we'll
it.
stir it. Better stir it.
Yep, and it, oh wow, it smells good
Yes,
already,
it does.
doesn't
It
it?
smells
Oh, does
delicious,
that smell
and it
delicious?
looks pretty. Okay, so then we close this up,
And then you seal it up.
and you let it sit for.
I think it's 5 or 6 minutes in the case of the scrambled eggs. So Mountain House is mostly known for preparing foods. They started with preparing foods for people that backpack. The beauty of freeze-dried is that it's lightweight because there's no water in it. You put water in it to reconstitute it, to rehydrate it. So all their foods are already prepared, they're already cooked. You simply add water, so it's simple. Simple's important if you're surviving, because remember, while you're hunkered down and the power's out and you're working on your food supply, your neighbors are out there standing in a long line waiting for a grocery store to open, or they're out looking for bugs or grass to eat, and you've got your emergency food supply. You want it to be fast. And the beauty of a thing like Mountain House is that it prepares fast and it's easy. It's all together. You actually can prepare it in this. You can eat it right out of this.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so that makes
Important
it
thing
really
to know, that
convenient.
you don't have to worry about paper plates, dishes, or anything else because you obviously aren't going to have much water.
Right. You know, it's handy to have a
Yeah.
fork, but that's pretty much all you need. All right, so it's been about 6 minutes. Let's open it up and see what it looks like. Hang on just a second. Let me get my
Let's
overhead
look and
camera going
see.
here.
Oh my, look at that. Doesn't that look delicious?
Oh wow, does it smell good?
Oh yeah, smell all those spices and the peppers.
Yeah, and it has a smoky aroma, doesn't it?
It does.
So
Shall
go
we
ahead.
just pour it
Yeah,
in the
just
pack?
Pour it in the pack. Pour it in the bowl.
Wow.
Look at that. Now that's a single serving, but boy, I think you would.
That's a
That's
two-person meal.
several of us. I think we're going to have breakfast this morning. Well, let's try it out.
Okay, this is a first. Good flavor.
That is really good flavor. You know, at this taping, Mountain House has been around about 50 years. Again, doing mostly for backpacking. They now do offer packets of their foods for emergencies. And I will say this, like for instance, I looked at their 14-day box and did the measurements, and understand this is a single serving that 2 or 3 people could be eating off of. I did the math, and there's enough food in there for 14 days for 6 people. So where it's supposed to be a 4-person for 14 days, it's really generous with the amount of food there is. All right, the next thing we're going to cook is from Wise Company, and it's important to know that in 2020, which is when this production is being done, they changed their name to Ready Wise. As far as I can tell, it's the same ingredients and they're doing the same things. But in this case, we're going to do this noodles with beef and mushroom sauce, and it is a 2-serving pack.
So we just add 2 cups of water. There are 13 grams of protein, 8 of sugar, but it is high in sodium. We're going to cook it right here in the pouch.
Right, just like the Mountain House, you can do the cooking in the pouch. So we're going to open it up. We're going to take out the...
yeah, if we can get the thing open.
There you go.
Ah.
It's going to take out the little pouch, which is the oxygen.
There.
You can see down in there, everything's in there.
Those
just
little
ready
tiny,
to go. It just needs water.
Those tiny little pieces. All right.
Yeah,
so
you can see the meat, and you can see the noodles. So we're putting in 2 cups of water.
Boiling water, that is. Okay, we do a little stirring.
Stir it up.
Look at the meatballs. We have miniature meatballs. Okay.
All right,
we'll
and then
close
seal
it up. You're going to do a timer?
And I'll start a timer because this wants to then take about 12 to 15 minutes to rehydrate. So it's now been 13 minutes. It said to let it sit for 12 to 15 minutes. And let me get the bird's eye view camera and open it up.
The reveal. Okay.
So you stir it up, and it is kind of soupy, but that's okay. Smells good, doesn't it?
It does smell good.
Well, it's a very interesting aroma. It's, yeah, all right. So
all right, so we'll pour
put it in
into
the
the
bowl.
bowl. And you did comment that this was for 2 servings.
Yeah, this is 2 servings, but boy, we filled that bowl up. There's still a little bit left in there. That looks very good.
Yeah, it does look good.
It smells very good.
All right,
Interesting. All
you
right.
be the first.
All right, so let me take a taste here. Oh, wow.
Is it good?
It is. Very tasty.
Get a couple of...
Yeah, make sure you get some meat. The noodles probably could have gone a little bit longer.
Yep.
So probably err on the side of making sure it's done, but they're fine. But the creamy sauce is really good.
It's very good.
Wise also does sell to backpackers. However, I think that a lot of what they do is really with survivalists, is for people to have emergency food supplies. It's interesting. This is 2 servings, but I think you could probably 3 people could eat off this and be very satisfied with what's there. It's very tasty. Wise also has great buckets. They also have, they have all the way up to, I think, a 10-year food supply, something like that you can buy. Now, it's thousands and thousands of dollars. One of the things to remember, you don't want freeze-dried for your everyday cooking because it's fairly expensive. A meal in freeze-dried can be anywhere from $10 and up per serving, so it's a little bit expensive when you're comparing to other things like canned goods or something like that.
Well, and then also the sodium content is going to be higher because it's being preserved.
Which might be one of the reasons this is so tasty.
Yeah.
But the Wise, definitely a winner.
So the next thing we're going to do is the blue ribbon creamy chicken and rice.
And this is from Patriot Pantry.
So this takes about 20 minutes, and it's got 8 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and it is a little high in sodium, 680 per serving.
But this seems to be a theme among processed food of any type.
Exactly.
The other difference about this is not camping food. So this does not come in a pouch that you can reconstitute it in. And I got a feeling because you have to cook it, you have to simmer it for 20 minutes, that the rice that's in it's actually not freeze-dried rice. It's probably real rice, and then the meat and everything else is freeze-dried that's put in it, which is fine. That's certainly acceptable. So we've got some water boiling. We've got the amount of water boiling.
Well, and it's a good thing that you have a stove, being a camper,
That's an
So-
important thing. Power does go out. It's not an unusual in the neighborhood we live in that if the power goes out during a hurricane, it's out for 2 to 3 weeks. And so a couple of things. Number one, we have a generator. But second to that, we use a camp gas stove.
Look
a
at
gas
that.
camp stove.
Well, it's powdery, but I do see little grains of rice. See the grains of rice?
Yeah. Okay, it
Smells-
does smell good already.
Yeah, it does smell good. So we have to pour this in the 2 1/4 cups of water
Okay, so
and have to stir frequently, or whisk in, as they say. Looks like some parsley. We didn't take out the pouch.
oops. Oh, we're going to cook the pouch. Okay. Well, it wasn't on the top. Isn't that
No,
interesting?
it wasn't.
Yeah, it had gotten mixed in there. Well, 12 years of sitting on the shelf.
Well, and us playing around with it, the bag. All right, so we whisk this in here as the directions say.
And I'd say get it so that everything's wet. There's nothing
Yep.
dry left on it.
Exactly. Well, and it does say to stir frequently here.
So over the next 20 minutes, we're going to be stirring frequently.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's actually, we cooked it for a little more than 20 minutes. It seemed a little soupy at 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And we've let it sit, and it's looking really good about right now.
It does.
Now, one of the things I did comment on earlier, and that is I think you're actually cooking the rice. And so as a result of that, you need to watch the cook. We didn't, and we made a little bit of a mess, but we did clean that up as we went along. So why don't you bring that on over here, and let's...
Well, the other thing I noticed is I don't see a lot of chicken
I don't see
pieces. So,
chicken chunks. No, I don't.
so perhaps, didn't you
Yeah.
say you had a
Yeah,
packet of?
in the kit that I have, I've got number 10 cans of things, including meats, and I have a number 10 can of chicken chunks. So on something like this, and we'll see when we taste it just how it is, but I don't see chicken chunks in there.
No.
So it might be really small. So yeah, you could add chicken to something like
Bon
this.
appetit.
Yeah, let's see how this goes. Okay.
The rice is done.
The rice is done perfectly. The cream is good. I can taste spices in there. I don't taste any unique flavors that are overwhelming, so it's not maybe as thrilling a taste as the others that we've tasted, but
The rice is done very nicely.
I'm sure it's chicken. I do. I can taste a little bit of chicken in it now. But I probably would add chicken to something like this. And this is also supposed to be
4.
serving for 4. And this is less than half of what we did. So I'd say
Yeah.
that's accurate. It's serving for 4. So time for a little bit of a science experiment with the emergency essentials because we're doing individual.
Yes, and each one has different instructions, right?
Right, different amounts
So-
of water and different amounts of cooking time.
Okay,
So we're
so-
gonna start with the meatballs.
First thing we'll do is we'll
Yeah,
cut
this doesn't
open-
have the easy open like the ones you can cook in there. And then how we're doing
It's 3/4 cup.
3/4 cup.
Whoops, we once again forgot to take our little pouch out.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't know why we keep forgetting that. Is that about right? Maybe a couple
yeah,
more?
A little more, a few more. All right, so there's Italian-style meatballs. The water's
Okay.
boiling, so
So we just poured in the 3/4 cup of meatballs into the boiling water. We're
And now
supposed to
it's-
cover it.
now it's going to hydrate, and we're going to cover it for 20 minutes.
Right.
Take it off the heat and let it sit.
Okay.
All right, next we're going to do the strawberries. Let them reconstitute, let them rehydrate.
Let's see the beautiful strawberries. Yes. 15 calories per serving, and there are 10 servings in the container. You mix a 1/4 cup of the freeze-dried with 1/2 cup of warm water.
All right, so we've got
So,
warm tap water.
and 1/2 cup. So it enters 1/2 cup warm tap water.
Okay, and then now once again, this is, we're going to have to open this with a pair of scissors, as it doesn't seem to have an easy open.
We don't have to open the whole thing.
And how much? We're doing
3/4 cup.
1/4 cup
quarter.
of freeze-dried.
Oh my. No, once
Okay,
we
well,
flatten
go
it
for it.
out. Yep.
Go for it. They smell interesting.
Smells like strawberries.
Smells like strawberries, so go ahead and put those in the water.
Oh my, look at that. They don't look like red strawberries.
They're not red, they are brown.
And I don't think you'd want to top your ice cream with them. We will drain the
So
water.
the 5 minutes are up, and now you're supposed to drain the liquid off.
Okay,
Okay, so now we have strawberries.
let's have a taste.
Strawberries.
Still tastes a little airy. Interesting.
What do you mean by airy?
Well, very, very light. Strawberries usually more dense. These are
Okay.
very,
They don't have a rich strawberry taste.
no, they don't.
So one of the things that on this camp food especially is you don't see a lot of green stuff. So with the emergency essentials, we do have broccoli, so we do have something green.
All right, so broccoli, of course, is very good for us. Now, add a quarter cup of freeze-dried broccoli florets to half a cup of warm water, which we have.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be boiling water, just has to be warm water. And
A quarter cup.
quarter cup.
See the big piece of broccoli?
You see big pieces of broccoli. Yeah, our water is warm, hot, so
We will,
we will go ahead and put it in the water
okay.
so that it can rehydrate. And that's supposed to take 5 minutes to hydrate.
And we leave it on the whole time?
No, just it can come
Oh,
off that.
come
It
off?
just says yes.
Okay.
All right, so the broccoli's been about 5 minutes, and
So have a taste.
yeah, let's see how that is. Looks like broccoli.
Taste some of those pieces, just out of
Yeah.
curiosity, because it says it's
Mhm.
nothing in there but broccoli.
Yeah, the ingredients called for broccoli. Yeah, that's part of the broccoli too. So it's broccoli.
So it's the stems.
It's the stems. So it's all broccoli, which means there's no spices in there at all. So yeah,
Nope.
it
Nope.
tastes like broccoli. It's really small pieces, and the stems are really small too, but yeah, it tastes like broccoli.
Because it is broccoli.
Because it is broccoli. All right, let's see what happened with the meatballs.
All right, meatballs coming up. And we have a
Okay, so
meatballs.
the meatballs have been going for 20 minutes.
All right,
All right,
here we go.
so go ahead and put them.
Oh, they smell good.
Yeah, they look good. They're small, but that's okay. They're Italian style. Is that what Italian style means? Is they're small?
I don't, yeah.
Oh, I smell pepper.
Oops, dropped my meatball.
That's excellent. Oh, wow. Got a good flavor to it. Definitely an Italian flavor to it of some kind.
I think I need to do a little better at straining them because I got a big, I bit down and got water to squirt out.
Yeah, you are supposed to. You are supposed to.
I think we should drain it, but they taste very good.
They really do.
I'd say that's a winner.
Yeah, the meatballs are definitely a winner. The vegetables are good, and I think
They're okay.
if you did a little seasoning with them, then they would be good too. But the whole idea of the a la carte is that you can then use them in your own recipes. For instance, you could do spaghetti and then use these meatballs in spaghetti.
And then
or
put some
something
sauce
like
on
that.
it. And
Put some sauce on it, which could be a canned sauce or something like that. So in this episode, we've looked at 4 different manufacturers of the dozens that are out there that make freeze-dried food and other types of preparedness food. We've looked at several different ways that they package them, everything from individual meals that rehydrate inside the package, all the way up to individual parts of entrees so that you can build your own meals. When you're preparing for a disaster, it's important that you have enough food on hand. FEMA now recommends a 7-day supply for every member of your family. We personally have a 30-day supply of freeze-dried food, canned goods, and frozen food, and a generator that can run the freezer. But you don't have to do that all at once. You can make a purchase of, say, 3 days now, so that you have at least a minimum supply, so that if food supplies are cut off, if power is cut off, that you can still eat while your neighbors are out grubbing for bugs to eat. It's also important that you then next year add to it, and then the next year add to it until you build up to what you want to do. We hope that this has been helpful to you as you prepare to survive the next big hurricane. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.